Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Life Lemons, where I break down my weekly newsletter and just sort of expand on some of the topics that I mentioned. So this episode is based on my second ever newsletter article called Get Out of the Fast Lane. And so the whole basis of this newsletter was that I felt this constant urge to always be doing something, to always keep busy, as if that was somehow synonymous with being productive. And especially in London, if anyone has ever been to London or has ever lived in London, you'll feel like everything is always moving, like people are always trying to hurry and scurry to the next destination or get more things done. And I only felt like I should start to slow things down in my early 20s. I came up with this metaphor called get out of the fast lane. So let me try and explain it to you and you tell me what you think. Okay, so the first point is a really funny one actually. This was based on my commute to work. So usually I just go directly on this motorway all the way to work. And me being the sort of wake up late, rush to work sort of person, I almost always get in the fast lane, okay? Now, the right lane is the fast lane. The left lane is sort of the slower lane. And if you want to exit the lane and, kind of take a turn, it usually will be on the left side. So you actually need to slow down and get to the left side in order to get off. But anyway, let me tell you what I noticed. Sometimes when I'm in the fast lane and I'm going like full speed ahead, I realize that there's hundreds of other cars trying to do the exact same thing that I'm doing. And these other 100 cars are all probably thinking the same thing that I'm thinking, which is this fast lane will get me to work faster. Like, this fast lane has to be quicker than the slow lane, right? But I think what we don't realize is there is a possibility that that fast lane might have almost every single car in it and nobody in the slow lanes. And I won't tell you how many times this has happened where I've sort of maybe overtaken someone to get into the fast lane in all my eagerness, and in the slow lane I see that same car just casually going by, and it almost made me feel like an idiot. Like, someone is casually driving with no care, he's probably on time, unlike me, and I'm stressing so much. I'm trying to, do the most to get into the fast lane, to drive as fast as possible. But here I am, I'm held up, and this person just overtaken me in the slow lane. And so the lesson is sometimes the slow lane is actually the stress-free lane, the one that will basically get you there as well, and maybe give you a smoother journey than the fast lane. The second point was that if you're driving like 100 miles an hour in the fast lane, then it's more likely that you might miss your turning. And what I mean by this is, in the UK, if you want to exit and sort of, take a turn, the turns are always on the left side. So you need to actually get into the slow lane in order to do that turn. And so imagine that you're driving 100 miles an hour, you're driving so quickly, you're so frantic, you almost forget that your exit is coming up, okay? And so I kind of compared this to us in life. Like, when we're so busy, we're so hurried, that sometimes we don't take note of the fact that we should actually be changing direction, we should actually be doing something else or choosing to go down a different path, but we have our blinders on and we just look forward, we just keep moving forward as fast as we can. And that might actually be the most detrimental thing for us. So sometimes it's better to slow down and to constantly evaluate where exactly we're going, and maybe if we need to get off this lane, we should do it while we still can. And the final point was a bit of a deep one, which was we might lose sight of our destination. And I think this has definitely happened to me, especially during university, especially in my earlier years, where I was constantly working on things, I was constantly pushing to feel like I was getting something done, but really I was just keeping myself busy and I wasn't necessarily being productive. And not only that, you can actually be productive at doing something, but you don't actually need that thing to be done at all. And so in life, I feel like sometimes we need to ask ourselves why exactly we're doing things, why exactly we're traveling in a direction, why exactly we're working towards certain things. Are we doing it for money? Are we doing it for fame? Are we doing it to raise our status, or are we doing it for something else? And sometimes we have to actually slow down or even stop to reevaluate why exactly we're moving in the first place. We might actually be better served turning around and going a different direction. So yeah, I do find that like a recurrent theme in what I talk about and what I make videos about is a lot to do with finding our life direction and our sort of career purpose. And I feel like sometimes we need a example, be it metaphorical or not, to help us process what exactly we need to learn. So yeah, that was my second ever newsletter article, and if you want to check it out, I'll leave a link in the description below, and also for you to subscribe to the newsletter if you choose to. Every week I basically write about meaningful living, self-improvement, and doing the things that matter. So if that sounds like something you might like to listen to, then please do subscribe. I'd love to hear from you in the comments what you think about this whole topic. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you on one of my other social media channels or in the next video. So until then, I'll see you next time.